1.
Welcome back. So when we last left the Tram fam, life was going great. Olivia and Clara had a bonding moment in Magda's apartment, talking through some of their problems as Olivia had finally read some of the letters Clara had sent. And then they went their separate ways, planning on meeting the next day early in the morning to attempt to defraud the watch of 3,000 gold worth of azurite by fooling Captain Gleason and company, unknown, into thinking that Caden was actually Clara's boyfriend / mentor / whatever else you want to put on the end of that, Kieran Gall. Widely popular and loved by all, I say sarcastically.
Yeah.
After they parted ways, Olivia went home, and the next morning awoke to a rather spooky and strange sight as she made her way to work. She passed through empty streets and arrived at the tram that was covered in fog, and nobody was around at a busy tram intersection. She then left to go get some reinforcements after deciding that entering the tram alone was probably not the wisest decision for her to do, and returned to find 2 guards dead and a crowd gathered. The watch CSI rolled in, took over the crime scene, but not before she summoned Clara and company to observe the dead bodies and caused Clara to go into a state of panic and shock. Caden, putting on the mask of Kieran Gall, not with disguised self, just in behavior and attitude, ordered her out of the area, and she snapped to and dazedly walked off, heading back to Kieran Gall's house. The rest of the party is at the tram. Olivia and Magda were going to have a immediate we need to talk session, and I don't know where Hurd is. Where is Hurd? Did you follow Clara to take care of her, or did you stay at the tram?
Which sister?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Is it? I would like to roll for this one because I don't want to choose sides. I don't want to be held.
I feel like I have to say no to that.
Really?
What would Hurd do? You can roll, and you can always roll. But
all right, I'll stick around the tram.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Olivia's the favorite sister today. So we are going to start with Magda and Olivia. You guys are on the tram, and Olivia or Magda, you have, if I recall correctly, we ended the last session with you telling Olivia we need to talk, and sort of, well, let's go, and walking away from the crime scene.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Hurd is there also, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I guess I'll just. Hurd, do you know of any good coffee shops nearby?
I know of the good coffee shop.
Is it nearby?
Like
walking distance nearby?
Let me. I'm being told no by the GM. No, it's not. I think there might be some shitty coffee just down a couple blocks away.
Shitty coffee will do.
All right.
You head down to the Best Dang coffee shop and find a seat as you step inside.
What is more important than everything going on right now?
Possibly cooling our heads a little. Just,
I'm incredibly cool.
I believe you. Why don't you get some coffee, we'll sit down, take a breather, and then just talk about some things.
Drink your shitty coffee. It'll make you feel better. Not that you're. I don't know. Yeah. Never mind. Just drink up. You've had quite the day, haven't you?
Yeah. So,
I don't know what you want to talk about.
this is the player being brain dead. I'm sorry.
So for those who don't know, Ian hopped on thinking he was early. He was not.
I thought I had a whole other 30 minutes to prep for this. I'm so sorry.
As Magda is just rolling through the last couple of days trying to get a
Magda
grasp
needs
on
more
this,
coffee.
she is just having a moment of brain dead. And as that happens, we're switching over to Caden and Clara. No, it's fine. In character, Magda has a weak moment. This is great.
No, they just literally sit in silence.
Yeah,
Olivia
I
doesn't want.
until Olivia stops physically smoking, Magda's just gonna be like, "We're gonna drink coffee."
Yeah. Olivia's not, emotionless in the face, but her whole body is enveloped in smoke, and it's just pouring. And every once in a while, she'll take a small sip and put it down, and then continue to sit.
Well, I think Caden has taken a firm grip of Clara's elbow and is leading them through the streets, kind of back towards the Kieran's place.
Right.
I think is the plan.
Now the city is rather large, so you navigate up to another tram stop down the line. It takes a good 20 minutes to get there.
Is there any place, could I grab something, rather than a tram? I don't want to bring Clara near a tram. I would pay for something private.
Of course. You
transportation.
can wave down a cart or something to take you up there.
Perfect. So yeah, doesn't matter what the cost is, just yep, let's go. And just gonna be constantly Clara, show me the hand movements for dancing lights. Don't cast it. Just remind me.
I
Good.
didn't prepare hand movements.
Again. You're dragging on the left side. Symmetrical. Beauty in this form.
I know.
Beauty in this form.
Yeah.
Do it again. And he'll just keep drilling her with do exactly a lot of physical, the somatic components of spells without actually casting it and stuff, just trying to distract as we go.
I do a lot of Scarlet Witch.
You will remember me.
And I'd have it drop us off maybe a block away from Kieran's place. I don't want to roll up on Kieran's place in case Gleason has showed up early or something.
Okay. You are dropped off a block away. Deduct 5 silver from your wealth, and you make your way. It looks like nobody's there at the moment.
Okay.
Good thing you brought Claire because she's the only one with a key.
How is Clara looking at the moment? I don't know how long would it have taken us to get here.
About 45 minutes.
I think Claire's probably calming down. She is very much compartmentalizing things that have happened, and is realizing that they have things to do, and that she can't fully freak out about this right now. So hands are still kind of shaky, but face is clearer, and just a lot of straight ahead looking, not really looking at Caden.
Caden's gonna try going back to just his normal voice for a second. Just be Clara, are you okay to head inside? Or do we need to spend some more time walking?
I think we're good. I don't know. We should probably just do that. We don't want to be late.
You guys have about 45 minutes before your guests are expected to show up.
Okay. I won't say that out loud. I don't know if you probably are the one who would know that, Mrs. Time Wizard over here. But
I'm really good at time
yeah,
wizarding.
you,
Clearly.
then let's go. Let's head inside. Let's make sure everything's in order.
Yeah, just picking up, making things look presentable, like someone has actually been here in the past year.
Okay. So you spend some time cleaning, and we're gonna head back over to the other group. You guys have been sitting here for a solid 30 minutes.
30 minutes, not a word. Just
Really awkward for the wait staff.
Just keep like whenever we finish one drink, just like bring another. You have our orders memorized by now. Just keep them coming.
Yeah, like the waiter would come by and just awkwardly cough at the smoke and then walk away.
Is Olivia still smoking?
I think she's still smoking, but by now it's not like a billowing smoke. It's just like it's like the morning after you've put out a campfire and there's just that light little
Like
bit.
smoldering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll break the silence. Olivia, we have pissed off a gangster, and we've given our sister a panic attack. I don't remember the last time I've seen her like that. What do we do from here? Do we let the gangster thing go? We've got other things to focus on, don't you think?
Well, my 2 cents on this issue is yes, let it go. The more you interfere, the more Sherman is going to be annoyed with you, and the more likely you're going to have another incident like that.
Olivia
Did kill a couple people. I mean, I guess it's to be expected of a mob boss, but
She kind of sits for another little while, staring off into space this time, and then looks back at you guys. Okay.
you're cool with that?
Yeah, I'm done helping Clara. She doesn't want my help anymore. She can go deal with her own shit. She's an adult now. Apparently, any help that I have done has just made it worse.
She is an adult. However, wouldn't go so far as to say she doesn't need help anymore.
She might need the most help out of all of us.
Every time I've tried, she's pushed me away and told me to stop. And you pretty fucking sure you both heard that I tried. I did the most that I've ever done recently as far as speaking with her, and apparently she doesn't care. So she said she wouldn't leave, and then she did.
Are you talking about just now her leaving, or is this the past?
I approached her, and she boofed away.
Ah, yes. To be fair, she only went 30 feet.
She left.
She'll be back.
It's not the distance, it's the intention. She knew what she was doing.
I understand that. However, I will add to that. The distance is part of the intention. The fact that she only went 30 feet away means that she's not completely gone. She hasn't left the city. She's still with Caden. She's going through a rough time. You just came back together, and that's a lot. And so you may
Even
need
if
a little bit of space before you can come back together for longer. Just a moment of space.
I apologized and everything. It should be fine now. I don't understand why she's mad. I don't know. I guess maybe I haven't had enough relationship experience or something, but I
we
don't
all
know.
start somewhere.
Your intentions are in the right place. You have a tendency to go take the most direct route.
Why
And-
not?
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong
No,
with that.
there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that sometimes you stumble and you feel like you failed, but you haven't.
Well, that's if you're marching in lines and you stumble, you fail.
This isn't marching in lines. Marching in lines isn't the only solution.
Even if our sister, even if it was her intent to leave us forever, she's in danger. She needs us now, and this is what family is about. We don't give up on family.
I feel like every single call that I've made has been wrong. And
Let me make the calls then.
you know what, Hurd? I think that's what I need to start doing. I think I hit the bottom.
Excellent.
You're the only person that has arms long enough to bring me back up to the top, so you're gonna need to help.
I'm here for you.
I have a more general question. Olivia, what is it that you want?
Money and power? What are you referring to exactly?
Anything. What do you want in life? What do you want in your relationship with Clara? What do you want?
I don't think I ever thought that far into it.
That's okay.
We kind of just stumbled back into each other's lives. I didn't expect to ever speak to her again. I guess I wouldn't mind if things were the same as like they used to be, but I don't think we could ever do that again. We're different. We're not the same people as we were when we were kids. I don't know how to. So much has happened. I guess I'd like it if we got along, but I don't know how to get along with people.
Seem to be getting along with us just fine.
You think so?
Sure.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Thanks.
See, look at that. You have two friends in us. You have another in Caden, and you have, despite what you think, another in your sister.
I didn't cast friends, though.
You don't need to cast friends. Actually, that might be your problem.
It's... Oh. this all seems really counterintuitive to just like the most direct path to success. I don't understand why you would need to turn down this scenic route that you guys are talking about. I feel like we should just go.
Well, real life isn't the watch or the military. There's no chain of command that will lead you to your goal.
What do you mean? Of course there is. I'm a corporal now, and when I continue, then I will be a captain, and then I will, rule Nuri eventually.
Do you want to rule Nuri?
Maybe not. That seems like a lot of work. Maybe if I could just be like the captain of like war or something.
Captain of War.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
a title? I wouldn't mind
Like
having
a
that title
general?
myself.
Oh. Well, shit, man. We're gonna need to fight for that. I think I've decided that I want to do that. I like
We
that
would
one.
have to fight a war.
Oh, right. Well, could start one. I mean, it's not that hard, but okay. Maybe I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. I don't think there's a title that suits me that has been invented yet. Just because I'm better than all the titles that are around right now, so they're just gonna have to make up something a little better. What was the question?
We were talking about a scenic route. I'm not sure how we got here.
Oh, all right. War planning. I think I feel better.
That's good.
2 people are dead though, and that's not good.
No, it isn't. I'll suggest to you, regarding Clara, the two of you have changed. And in that regard, you're 2 different people now. You can't treat Clara the same way you used to when you were kids. You'll have to get to know her again.
I know everything about.
How long ago did we figure out that she had a boyfriend?
It was
You know,
under a week, I think.
it wasn't long ago. I think Magda's right. We've got some learning to do.
That's
Also,
That's just so. We did it. I thought I did that already when we were kids, though. I don't.
Do you think Clara knows everything about you now based on how you were as a child?
I mean, probably. I haven't changed very much, I don't think. I guess maybe she might have missed some of the stuff that I did when I was in the watch and right after she left and stuff. But
There you go. She still has things to learn about you too.
she hates me. She's not gonna do that.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's true either. She's family.
And more than that. She wants to be
Exactly.
close to you again, but you've made it a little difficult.
Yeah, I've heard that I do that. I just
About
no, just what? I don't know.
about the mob boss. He killed
Yeah.
2 people. In
Yeah,
my
let's-
mind, that's not okay, right?
No.
What are you
Of
going
course
to do
not.
about it,
In
Hurd?
my very simple mind, murder, not very great. But I'll tell you what I'm going to not do is no, I'm going to do nothing right now. I'm going to put his name on the same list as Mike's is, and we'll deal with it later.
You have a list? What's
It's not a physical one. I keep it in the back of my.
Don't do that. That can be used as evidence. Like, that's a very bad idea.
It's not a physical list.
Okay.
The list doesn't exist. Forget I said anything about it.
Okay.
We should remember
think-
this and come back to it when the time is appropriate.
No, I think we need to think of productivity right now. I'm done talking about feelings. It's stupid.
Well, so regarding Sherman, I know you want productive things, but I want to get this off the table. I don't want either of you two to do anything about him. Nothing. We are going to go talk to the Rook. We are going to get in his good graces, and Sherman can't touch us. Clara's business with Sherman is Clara's business.
Well, we still have Mike on my list.
Wait, what about Kieran though? Like,
Yeah, mental note. Yep, 3 people on my list now.
I thought you removed Sherman.
I just put him at the bottom of the list. The priority has shifted.
I mean, maybe you should make a physical list and then burn it later, just so it's easier to keep track of. Because it seems like you're.
It's only 3 people.
Just as a point of order from the DM standpoint, did you guys want to be there when Captain Gleason was there, or no?
No, I am intending to keep pissed Olivia distracted for as long as possible.
Okay.
If Hurd wants to go, he's welcome to, but Magda will do everything to keep Olivia here.
I'm
I
already
don't
here.
think it's a good idea to have Olivia at that meeting. There's okay.
Kieran Gall, however, is a problem.
Say the least. Yes.
Sorry, I looked at Jackie and that was a mistake.
Well, right. The wall is a problem. Kieran is not helping.
The watch wants him. They want him to be at the wall. They want him to work at the wall and fix it. But I mean, he seems like a pretty evil person to me. So
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
I feel like he would just continue to break it or something. I don't know, kick it down. He seems that type of guy.
Yes, I think that firstly, he's not good for Clara. If this is the situation, full action, yeah.
Not good for
And-
Clara. I think that he's tricking Clara into helping him break down that wall.
I'm not
He's
sure
an
he's
evil,
intending
evil
to
man.
break down the
That
wall.
seems like a good idea. I think that you're right.
His influence
No.
over Clara has
Hold
gone
on.
far.
Hurd,
He's onto something.
he's not trying to
I think
break
I am.
down-
This is an original thought that I just had in my brain right now, and
Mm.
I think there's something here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. It's your
Alright, fine.
turn.
I don't think he's trying to break down the wall. I do think he is a hazard. And the longer he exists, the more of a hazard he's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Wait, so what are you getting at?
I'm getting at that we eliminate him.
All right. So,
You did not look at Jackie. Okay.
how do you think that Jackie might feel about that?
Jackie, Jackie's in this conversation.
Oh shit! I mean, yeah.
I don't know
How do you think that Clara might feel
Jackie
about
the
that?
florist is gonna feel, but I think that
Well, at this point in time, I'm not particularly worried about Clara's feelings on the matter. She'll probably be frustrated or hurt, but I believe I've already convinced her to break up with him, and
You did what? How'd you
I
do? I've
convinced
been
her.
trying for an entire week.
me too.
Well, she is very fond of Sherman, or was until this morning. And now that I think about it, things might have changed.
I mean, I thought I made a good point this morning, but with like
Well,
showing her
here's
the
the
bodies
thing.
and all.
Here's the thing. You may have made a very, very good point for her not to date Sherman anymore, which, frankly, I don't care if she wants to date Sherman or not. That's her business. My concern is that I convinced her to break up with Kieran so that she could pursue Sherman. However, if she's scared of Sherman, she may not break up with Kieran.
We should have timed this a little bit better, such that she broke up with Kieran, and then she became scared of Sherman. And then most of our problems would be solved.
Okay, Kieran he's a criminal right now. If we could just show the watch that he's a criminal, they'll just arrest him and throw him in the mines and it'll be fine. That's elimination, right?
It's
No, I don't
certainly a
think that's
direct
how-
path forward.
That I don't think that is how that will go. Because Kieran is a very powerful wizard, and the watch wants his help.
Well, I mean, Clara can do most of that stuff, can't she? Like, she does the time fuckery. Like, she's got it. We're sure
Right.
it's fine.
But that still won't get him. His magic is his free card out of jail.
But I don't understand how. Like, do you think we should send him over the wall? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm gonna make you say it.
I'm going to ask you a different question, Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Which do you care about more, Clara, or the rules of the watch? And I want you to think very hard about this question because your actions have already proved one answer.
What did I do?
Your willingness to bend the rules in your favor.
Well, sometimes it's necessary when you need to like get a little bit more money for food.
Yet when I come up with the great idea of stealing the azurite powder from the watch,
$3,000 is not the same as like 30 gold for a bribe.
we would have been the heroes of the town.
I think they would have figured out it was us and probably sent us over the. Never mind. Okay, I'm supposed to be thinking.
The watch isn't the only path to power and money.
What else would you do, though? Every powerful person is connected to the watch. It's the way to.
Sure, they all have their connections to the watch. But we are working for the Rook. The Rook's not part of the watch. We're already gaining power on our own.
I guess if you're saying, like, defy the watch or Clara dies, of course I'm gonna save Clara from dying. Like, that's silly. Like, civilian life is more important than that. Following the laws of the Watch, because the laws of the Watch are to keep civilian life alive.
We're not just talking about civilian life here, though. This is your sister.
Yeah, I mean, she's a civilian.
She's
but
your sister.
what does that have to do with
She's
it?
more than a civilian.
Yeah.
I can tell you wholeheartedly agree.
You tricked me into it, but yes, yeah, she is. She is more than just a regular civilian.
That is so cute. I'm crying over here. This is a beautiful moment, guys.
Take your coffee and drink it.
I think Kieran Gull needs to die.
That's bold. Are you saying for? That's like the actual, like, that's like what happened before, but for real, it's not like a whoopsies, didn't mean to, like, that's.
Let's, Magda, help me understand.
Okay.
Kieran Gall dies.
Yes.
Then what? Then the future is changed, right? Kieran Gall has a direct. Kieran Gall is causing these cracks in the wall, as per our latest information, right?
He is.
With his time magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so if we kill Kieran Gall, those cracks go away for a little bit until the next time wizard comes and that magic is rediscovered.
Well, I mean, Clara's the next time wizard, so as long as, like, I'm, like, captain of war, she can be captain of time magic stuff, and then it'll be fine. She'll just make sure nobody does it again. She's probably learned.
She'll
from
make
this.
sure that nobody uses time magic.
Well, to break the wall. Isn't that the issue, right? Like, she can still use the time magic. She just don't mess with the wall.
There's no one solution that is going to fix every problem in the world forever. This is not a get rid of Kieran Gall and the world is saved. This is, we have a problem, and it's a very big problem, and this is the best solution.
It's very direct, and I like that. It's a good way to solve a problem. You don't need to do
like a
any
Band-Aid
paperwork.
to me.
Well, what? Will he be dead? He won't. What do you?
There are other things to be dealt with afterwards.
Sure,
This is
putting on
only
that
one
Band-Aid
step.
might buy us some time and we could...
Exactly. We have other time wizards. We have Clara, who's familiar with his magic, and
well, you know, he
we
isn't
won't
even a
have to
time.
worry about him going back and breaking more of the wall and leaving more of the mess for people to deal with.
And I mean, he's not even actually a time wizard. He's just a transmutation wizard. We'll just need to make sure he doesn't, I don't know, make us into like a slug or something, and I think it'll be fine.
Also, I think you're onto something, Magda, but we should have a plan on how to deal with Clara. Or perhaps, this is a crazy idea, maybe this is something that we shouldn't pull Clara in on.
So did you say shouldn't?
Shouldn't.
Oh no, I don't think she should be. I think she'll be against it.
Yeah, probably. She didn't want to break up with him, so she probably wouldn't want to kill him. I'd assume.
I think even if she broke up with him, she respects him too greatly.
Wait. Then do we have the problem where he's dead and then she's like honoring his life and how great of a guy he was, and oh no, he's dead, so now he can't do any more wrongs, that kind of thing? Because sometimes people die and then people get all like, oh, it's so sad this person's dead.
But I mean, at least cracks aren't being put in the wall for a duration of time.
I mean, cracks might not be put in the wall if we're able to arrest him and put him in a no magic zone, and then he can't do any magic, and then he's
Arresting him is not. I thought we established that arresting him was not going to resolve anything because his magic in and of itself is a getaway free card for the watch.
Yeah, you're right. Well, if we're gonna do that, we can't just. We have to really think and come up with some kind of plan.
It's fairly simple. We ambush him as soon as we bring him back, ambush him as soon as he's out. Then he just perished in a tragic magical accident.
Claire's the one that needs to bring him back, though. She's gonna be there.
I'm not.
So one of us pins her down.
I know some things about magic.
Seems a little traumatic, and
Does the
I'm a high
watch not
tolerance.
have like those manacles that remove magic?
Yeah, but I mean, you said you don't want her a part of the plan, and I feel like that kind of puts her into the plan. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking maybe she just never knows about it. Like, oh, one day he's dead.
like maybe we just say he left again. Like, whoopsies, he bailed.
But we might have a difficult time summoning him without Claire's help. So that
We
complicates
definitely
things.
need Clara to bring him back.
Honestly, so
Killing
I
him after he's back, I suspect will be more difficult, but we can-
I don't know that much about magic, but I'm pretty sure that guy is very powerful, and I would have concerns with us three trying to wrestle him.
Well, it's not wrestling; it's more stabbing. But like,
And this is why we use an ambush. As soon as he's through the portal, we get him before he can use his magic.
would Caden be up for joining us? Could we have 4 people?
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was quick.
I simply have to mention what we are doing to him, what is expected of him, and he will join us.
Does he not? I get the sense that he doesn't really have his own free will.
He's just a really good soldier.
I don't see why he would have any reason not to join us, but if he decides not to, then I suppose he is free not to.
Interesting. Yet you stand here and say with supreme confidence that he is dedicated to our cause.
I've known him since I was 13. I feel like I have a pretty good measure
Sure.
of a person by then.
I think I need to work with you. You're kind of like a captain. Like you've got a captain vibe, and I want to do that.
I've been waiting for you to say that to me for so long.
I'm not talking to you, Hurd, man. We can train it with like the fighting stuff. I don't know. I feel like we'd make each other worse if we tried to improve each other's social skills. Just saying. Anyway,
We can certainly practice your social skills, as you say.
I mean, it's more like commanding skills. But yeah,
It's both.
yeah. Anyway, Kieran comes back. We jump him. He dies. Hold Clara. Who's gonna hold Clara down though? If we're all jumping. Can't we just maybe like get somebody to lure her away? Maybe.
We need Clara to summon him, do we not?
Yeah, but then
She has
she's
to activate the magic circle or this magic sphere to pull him in, and it will be difficult to then say, you should go over there now.
true. But she'll try to protect him unless we hold him back, and if we hold him back, then one of us isn't in the fight, and the less people in the fight, the more.
This could be where your manacles are useful. We remove her magic, and the fourth person is now free to join.
Can we just do a quick gut check? Is this the right thing? Yeah, it's the right thing to do, right?
I mean, I've had so long to think about it. I guess, it seems like the most direct option. Like, you just.
I think it's the most efficient solution. The least
Yeah.
other hairs to get in the way.
Yeah.
What are the... Surely there's downsides to this, right? Will
Like
she
what?
ever trust us again?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Well, I think she'd figure out that it was the better thing to do, right? Like she'd realize that it was the right call. Right?
Maybe we should let this sink, settle in our heads. And how much time has passed? Like,
Are you guys gonna want some more coffee? You turn and look, and you see that the barista is standing there with a very worried look on her face. Are you guys, refills?
worried?
Please.
like why?
We wouldn't be yelling about murder plans, just so you
Oh, I
know.
thought she
No,
was
no,
worried
she's-
because we had like 8
yeah.
cups of coffee by now.
Yeah, you guys have been there for probably a good hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah. Give me another cup, man. Yeah.
All right. Would you like some food? Or
I mean, we
Okay,
gotta
I'll-
eat at some point, right? We might as well be here.
Yeah, we probably
Yeah,
need to
sure,
get snacks.
Okay.
So.
As you guys continue to discuss your plans to murder Kieran Gall, although he's a
Magda
high-powered
pays, by the
wizard, so
way.
he might be considered an assassination. When does it become assassination of a murder? Anyway, as you discuss your plans to deal with your problem,
What's the difference?
we are going to move over to Jackie, Clara, and Caden. Clara and Caden, you guys have made the house presentable, and as you are sitting there, kind of twiddling your thumbs in the kitchen, Clara, you you have a task in front of you, and as you begin to think over the problem and figure out what's coming next, your familiar sense of calm comes over you, much because of Kieran Gall's training, the intensity of his training, and how he drilled into you. It doesn't matter what you're feeling, do it right. And so, you snap into this mode of, set those emotions aside. I'll deal with them later. We have something in front of us. Caden, this is old hat. You're walking and practicing your walk styles. Altering it, if I recall correctly, you said you were going to act like he was tired from something.
That's what
Maybe.
Kate would be bringing up to Clara right now. Is like, let's just get our. Look, you told me before that Gleason has met Kieran before. So we have the added disadvantage of she could remember unique tics that I won't be able to portray, or unique phrasings that maybe stood out to her. I think the best option is for me to portray either that I am wounded or I'm sick or something that makes it that Kieran would act non-standard in this moment. Something that we can use as a fallback.
You could make it seem that he was magically exhausted. But some experiment that we've been running has been exceedingly tiring. It would also maybe give us some credence for needing the azurite powder so that it doesn't continue.
Excellent. And what do we need the azurite powder for? What if she's asking specifics?
It's a stabilizing force. So we would have to... It has to be a big enough reason for needing 3,000 gold worth of azurite powder. The experiment could be something along the lines of looking through time. Instead, looking backwards into time, we're trying to go a far ways. So we need the stabilizing force to keep the scrying open.
Okay, I like this. I think what would be better, rather than me accidentally slipping up on something, I'll have my apprentice describe what it's for.
Yes.
If it comes up.
Absolutely. I don't know that it's gonna. I have never met Captain Gleason before this, so I don't know what she knows about his experiments. Hopefully not a lot.
I'm going to focus on the mannerism, the speech, and the interaction itself. Magic stuff, I'll defer back to you. In more of a, I can't be bothered trying to explain this to someone who doesn't understand it.
That sounds like Kieran.
Good. Are you okay to do this?
I think so. I feel like there's some stuff I should tell you, but we can wait until after. Like, it's not important right now. Let's get through this, and then I can... Then it'll be fine after that.
Okay. You did well. You pulled yourself through. We're here. We're ready. This is good.
As ready as we're gonna be.
You want to cast your spell now? How long does it last for?
I'm
We're
gonna
waiting
have to
for
show
these
you
Kedum.
how to cast it. And she'll take
Oh.
out the disguise self scroll. You have to be the one to disguise yourself. So
Okay.
I can't. I would have to make myself look like Kieran Gall, and that's voice height. It's not gonna work. So she's gonna walk him through how to use the scroll.
Okay. Yeah, you've never actually had to use a scroll before, Caden. But as she walks you through, it's pretty. You look over the scroll and you realize, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can do this. And you can cast, because it's on your spell list. You have no problem casting disguise self.
Okay. And how long does that last for? Is it something we need to do?
An hour.
Okay, perfect. So once we see them coming to the house, that's when Caden would cast it.
Okay.
Clara, why don't you keep an eye out then? I'd rather not be seen out a window.
Yes, Clara will wait, kind of by the door, sitting not like in the window, but with an eye towards it, so that she can notice if anyone's coming up.
Alrighty. So you sit down and relax. Do you have Kafka outside scanning, or is he inside with you?
Claire is going to like take Kafka and she's going to spend enough of her components and gold to turn him into a rabbit and hide
Okay.
him in the bushes outside the
Okay.
front.
Sounds good. You have a nice cuddly rabbit, and you can hide him in the bushes without any problem at all. So you sit and wait, and there is a sort of calm before a mission that sort of comes over. You can hear the noises of the street. You can hear Caden in the back, walking back and forth, practicing lines. And then Kafka sends you a message, or rather, as you look through his eyes, you see approaching Captain Gleason and 2 other people. Now, Captain Gleason's lizard folk, and flanking Captain Gleason is a gnome wizard of sorts, based upon their dress, and a dragonborn that you would guess is probably a sorcerer. Captain Gleason has on her waist a pouch with a rune on it that is very clear that this is like an enchanted pouch of some sort. She is fully armored and carrying her rapier. And as they are moving through the city, they're a little bit on edge. Not like totally on edge, but they're walking. They're only talking briefly to each other and just sort of keeping an eye out. They approach the door and knock.
May I, for a moment? I'm very sorry. Caden will have left his sword somewhere else, so it doesn't clank anywhere, and will have switched to his leather armor as opposed to the breastplate to again just try to avoid any clanking or anything.
Sure. Yeah, you had time to do that. So you switched to leather armor instead of the breastplate, and you are no longer carrying your sword. Right. You take your sword and hide it somewhere in the building? Or
yeah, just a closet somewhere, not too far away.
Okay. You put it somewhere that
sword.
You put it somewhere that's within easy reach. But you could just duck into a closet and grab it if you need it. As you set it there and you're going about your day, you set it in the closet, you have your armor, you change your armor, and there's a natural instinct for you to just double check all of your preparation. And as you swing back by the closet, your short sword's gone.
Not knowing there's not time to go through this, what the hell? Unless there is time to go searching, he'll just leave it for the moment.
And you hear a knock on the door. As you discover that, you shut the door. Do you cast Disguise Self on yourself?
Absolutely.
If I might not be doing this raw because I can't fully remember the rules, but I believe since it's on your sheet, you can just cast it off the scroll.
Okay.
So you cast Disguise Self on yourself. You look like, based on the life-size portrait that you have, it's very easy to make it look like him. You look like Kieran Gall. Clara, do you answer the door, or does somebody else answer the door?
Yeah, she definitely so they knock on the door, she'll like throw a glance over at Caden, see him turn himself into Kieran Gall, like okay, and answer the door.
I'm busy, remember. And he's going to walk off to another room.
Yes. So she opens the door for all of them and kind of bows her head and steps back so that they can enter.
They enter the study and the entryway and sort of give a glance around, and Captain Gleason looks at you and says, Clara, I expected... Is Olivia here?
No. Should
I thought
she have
would have
been?
been here. No, it's just I expected her to be here. Where's Kieran Gall?
Oh, he's in the other
Professor
room. I can
Gall.
go get him for you if you would like to just wait right here.
Sure, we'll follow you.
Yeah, sure.
As you give them a look up and down, you can, the sorcerer closes the door. She turns and gestures to him. My companions, Molly and Pierce. Pierce is the Dragonborn. Molly is the gnome.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Professor Gall's home. I'll introduce you.
They walk in, and Caden, what are you doing as they sort of enter in?
I will be in a room that does not have Kieran Gall's giant portrait.
Okay.
Wherever they're coming, I do not want an easy comparison.
Right.
And,
yeah. That's only
I
in
will
one
be-
place. That's in his study to go.
Perfect.
You have to
I
pass
just want to
through it.
establish that. I don't want them being
Yeah.
like, who? So I'll be at a desk with just papers in front and a pen in front of me, writing as they enter.
Okay. Now you're in the library in the study. The books are still arranged by color because Ag had arranged them all for you. And this is a place that Clara and the real Kieran Gall has spent many hours poring over tomes and manuscripts. As they enter, you see them step in.
But I don't look up.
And
Keep writing.
Our guests have arrived.
Yep. Great. Have a seat.
So I show them chairs.
Captain Gleason, none of them sit. Captain
Oh.
Gleason just stands there. Kieran, so aggravating as pompous as always.
What are you now? First class? Private? They call you captain now, is that correct?
Captain, yes. Captain
Right.
Gleason.
Thank you, Gleason. Thank you. So many things. You'll have to forgive me for not getting up. I'm a little winded today, but
Is
if you
everything
wish to
okay?
stand, your concern is lovely. The tirings of the insistent pull of magic gets exhausting at times, especially when you have trouble finding good help. Thanks for alerting me to that everyone was here before they walked into the study.
Apologies.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, your help, Clara here, told me you needed azurite powder to finish something. Said you wouldn't be willing to go and look at the fact that the wall is crumbling until you got it, which strikes me as very curious.
The work that we do here is very important. You have plenty of people who I imagine can handle cracks in the wall when needed, and if you need my assistance, then yes, it needs to be at a... Don't need to spend months of my time, my very valuable time, working on something when I could be researching. If you need me to assist with the wall, I'm fine to do so, but I'm going to need the components immediately. I'm not going to waste my time.
Well, I will say that we're going to have to insist that you come in the next couple of days at the very least. There's been some changes in what has been going on, and we believe we have some theories. Theories that you particularly might find interesting.
Go on.
The wall itself, as you know, is a combination of transmutation magic and time magic. And we believe that the time aspect of it is failing.
And who are the learned scholars who have told you this?
Is it... I have to pull up my list of names of people at the wall. I should have had that ready.
As she thinks, he'll be like, no matter, Clara, wine.
Yes. and just goes off to a cabinet that is definitely filled with wine, though she notices one less bottle.
Several less bottles. He didn't take
Several
just
less
one.
bottles.
He
Just
took.
files that away
Uh,
and
yes. Where
gets
is my
glasses for
list?
everyone. But her.
Yeah, everyone but her. She's not drinking.
She would not be drinking in the presence of Kieran's guests.
Okay. So he that should be doing a thing. It's not. Oh. So Captain Gleason goes, well, we have everybody but you when it comes to time magic. We have Jonathan Curley, Gertrude Hammond. We have Scott Hook and Mark Dawes. We were going to get Kendra, but she passed away of a brain aneurysm 2 weeks ago.
You have
That's awful.
Clara. You have the greatest other time wizards who couldn't see a brain aneurysm coming. That's wonderful. This is fine. So, new news. The time magic is failing on the wall, is what your experts tell you. You need my
We don't have the
opinion on
best
this?
there yet, apparently.
Right. Hand out.
Hands wine.
But it's kind of
Pardon?
When can you come down to the wall? Your experiments won't last very long if what's beyond the wall comes through. You, of all people, should know the danger that or have you been so buried in your books you've forgotten what we're holding back?
You're looking at one of the few people who may really truly know what it is that we've been holding back at times. That
Exactly.
said, yes, I will come to your wall. I need some time to rejuvenate. You said in a few days?
Well, providing the wall doesn't crack anymore, then yes, in a few days. We have now 2 main points of cracking, and one that the original one has spidered when it started, but that has ceased. There seems to be something triggering it, but we cannot figure out what it is. We don't know whether or not it's the gods pulling back their power, whether it's the Azurite just failing, or whether it's a combination of the weak points of the wall or just the spots that are going to fail, the end and the beginning. Sorry if I bore you.
No, it's fine. Just you carry on. You're doing great. Look, you brought the Azurite powder, I assume?
Yes.
Wonderful.
We'd like to see what it's for.
Look, do you want me to come? You wouldn't
Up to this
understand.
point, we've been very polite. We can get you to come. The sages could come and get you themselves if they so desired, and you may be powerful, but you're not that powerful. So we've been engaging. We have 3,000 gold worth of Azurite powder, which is more than a year's salary at your professor job. You seem to find yourself as a very intelligent and needed person at the moment, which is why we're able to even acquire it. However, we don't just hand this over to anybody. So, what's it for? Humor me.
He reaches back for his glass from Clara, he expects in his hand immediately. Clara, explain what we are doing, please.
Why don't you show me? I imagine you've been working on something and it goes into place. Why don't you show my wizards what you're working on and they'll give the yes or no.
Showing is not likely to... Time magic is delicate. It's not something that
This is time? I thought you were working with a transmutation problem.
If you want the azurite, if you want my help with the wall, the azurite powder will be required for any of the transmutation or time magic required for the wall. What I'm working on here is mainly transmutation. But as you say, I am one of the experts here. I dabble where I can. But my experiments are not for public viewing yet. Rest assured, with this generous donation to the funding for research, the watch will most certainly benefit, and your appropriate wizards will be allowed access as once things are appropriately safe. For the moment, Clara can give you a description.
Before she does, let me ask one very straightforward question. Is whatever you're working on sanctioned? Because when I pulled those records, I didn't find anything that would require azurite powder underneath the permits that you filed for your experiments.
Looks at Clara, says, she is smarter than she looks, isn't she?
Yes, sir.
Captain Gleason, I humbly submit to you that the work I do here is advanced, dangerous. I can assure you, especially in the midst of your two colleagues here who look up to you with such great respect, that everything is above board. Now, if you wish to have a more private conversation about this at some point, I would be more than happy to do so when I am more fully rested.
So give me the performance roll that you get advantage on this because of Magda last time.
Okay.
We're getting buzz off of somebody's mic.
Um,
So give me a performance roll, Caden.
Oh boy.
Oh, I definitely turn back time.
Okay. If I could turn back time, I need to make that like the thing.
Yeah. I was
So you
like
get
ready for this to happen. I was like watching their faces, and as soon as I see it doesn't land, just
Okay. So you are watching this, and as you watch their faces begin to, as they sort of look at each other, and Captain Gleason just starts to rest her hand on her rapier hilt, not like drawing it. You reach out, and time just freezes around you, and you see all the different tendrils of possibility, all the different paths that it can go. And down the path that it's going now is not where you want it to go. There's lots of different paths. There's the perfect result, and that's where you're trying to pull it towards. Caden, give me a single dice roll. Obviously, it's going to roll 2, but when she turns back time,
Pick
she
the
doesn't get
first
to
one.
re-roll the advantage. Right.
That's better.
And as you
Seems better.
pull it, you don't have as much time to pull it over, and you get it closer to a more perfect example, and time snaps, and you're in the new timeline. You've altered things.
gonna worry about what the ramifications of that are later.
And now there's another roll, and that's your deception roll for everything's above board.
Prepared.
And there's no advantage on this one.
Can I just get my inspiration now?
Please. I
Can I just
I
give it
have
now?
saved it. I have saved my
Okay.
inspiration.
All
Hold
right,
on,
so you
I'll
have
roll my-
advantage.
Chrono shift, and then I'm ready.
Okay.
I can do.
Roll me the deception roll with advantage because you have 20. All right.
Oh,
So nervous.
yeah.
Now, you Captain Gleason is going to insight you. And we'll see how well this rolls out. Oh, I whispered it, but the chat knows that I rolled a 2.
Oh, I was gonna spill wine on her as she was looking, but we're not gonna do that now.
She's not on it today. Perfect.
She's got a lot of other things on her
There's a
mind.
lot going on. There's too much going on.
I mean, 2
Fine.
watchmen died this morning.
Yeah.
Clara, explain the experiments then.
Yes, we have been attempting to look backward in time quite a ways. We thought that it might be able to help as soon as we heard about cracks in the wall, that we might be able to look back and see if it was a problem in the past and if we could do anything about it. Otherwise, we were going to need to bring in divination wizards to possibly look into the future. But the azurite powder is to stabilize the experiment so that it doesn't unravel as we are trying to turn back the clock, so to speak, on the orb.
And how successful have you been up to this point?
We have been able to go back a number of years, but not back to where the wall has started, where the first stone was placed, where that crack appeared first.
This could be very useful.
That is why we need the powder, and that is why Professor Gall would be instrumental in helping you solve this.
The
Give me your
esteemed
own deception
Professor
roll.
Gall.
I'm using inspiration. I can turn back time again.
Okay. You watch your own explanation start falling on.
11 isn't.
Give me another one.
Okay.
As you watching pull it over to a new
Mm-hmm.
possible outcome. Now, if I recall correctly, you have to use the new one, right?
I have to use the new one. As I'm talking, I just drop my wine. I drop the wine that hasn't been taken.
I think the way this works is because you have advantage. I don't, because this would work like triple advantage, but forces you to use the new one, which is very interesting. All right. So
Clara,
the wizard,
you klutz!
wizard is going to insight you to see whether or not, or Arcana check you to see whether or not they believe you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She speaks up. I do believe I wish to see this experiment.
I think that.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist.
No offense meant, but this is proprietary work. What?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist.
All right. Claire's gonna briefly look at Caden and go for one of her old notebooks from when they started doing this experiment. Like, way back when we were just drawing circles and runes.
Look, I am disappointed in the fact that this is taking up so much time, but Clara, if they are insisting, show them something from our work, please.
Yes.
So you hand over one of your
Note
notebooks.
that this will be this. I will report this, Cleason. I'm asking you. I think.
Give
this
me
is,
an insight roll, Caden. Okay.
No inspiration. I think this is terribly inappropriate with proprietary knowledge, and the university is going to know about this as well.
Gleason doesn't seem to be very shook on that. You hand over one of the notebooks, and Molly begins to go through it. And as she looks through it, she traces some stuff out. This is the very beginnings of a project. I thought you were already functional enough to look back. Show me what you have for the functionality to look back. This is the start of your experiment. I want to know where you are now.
Claire is going to.
You have runes, and something like this would require etchings and a circle of some sort. Just take me to the circle. I will look at that.
The circle currently is very unstable, and
I will not touch. I will observe from a distance.
No, the area around it is very unstable. I would hesitate to show you. Why? I will draw out the runes for you, and you can examine them as we have begun etching them below, and they're a more complete picture.
Very well.
Additionally, if you must know, this is why I am so exhausted, is that it does take effort to enter the area where we have protected this. And You would not be able to open it. I cannot today either. Clara, please do show them, though, what you can.
She would start drawing out the equations and circle to get to about the point that Kieran would have gotten about a year ago, because
Okay.
she examined that, but leaving out specific
The
runes.
fix.
Yeah, she's gonna leave out her fix.
Okay. So you give me an Arcana check
Okay.
with advantage because this is your proprietary work.
Yay.
You draw them out, but as the plan is going just a little bit off script, you're drawing them out and you make some errors and some mistakes in the runes that you're drawing. But as they are looking them over, I can see why it would be unstable. That one right there, it doesn't make sense. Why would you use the calendar when for days when you're trying to move back years and months? Their experiments.
previously-
She talks right over you.
Okay.
Turns to Gleason. Their experiments are valid, but I don't know that they're going to be any actual use. Based upon what we've seen here, they're quite a ways away. They've, shall we say, exaggerated where they're at. However, there might be value in continuing this. Gleason turns to look at you. Yes, that sounds like Professor Gall. Very well. 4 days. Be at the wall.
As you command.
If you're not there, we will be coming and getting you.
I would never dream of going back on my word. Of course.
4 days to leave for the wall, which would put you there in 6 days, since it takes 2 days to get up there. But you know what we mean.
Absolutely.
She drops the pouch on the desk, and they turn. And as they're leaving, Molly turns around and looks at you, Clara, and says, "The ruins that you were drawing, never mind." And she walks out.
I am going to watch them through Kafka's eyes as they leave and try and listen in if they say anything as they walk out.
They're standing out in the front, and they're talking amongst themselves.
Rabbits got big ears.
They do. Doesn't make sense. I need to think about this more. She turns to Molly, turns to Pierce. Pierce, did you get a good look at what she drew? You have a better memory than I do. Yes, I did. I can draw it, but I do not know what any of it means. Good. I need to study it a little bit more. There's something not right about it. It could just be their ineptitude, but there is an element of taking, of moving, versus seeing, and I don't quite understand. Maybe it's an out-of-body thing, like an astral projection. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
But it's worth thinking about, even if nothing else. If he can't get it, maybe we'll fix it. And they take off and continue walking down the stuff.
Angry rabbit sounds. Yeah, Clara comes back to it as she exits Kafka's eyes and ears and just like kind of looks back at Caden and just goes, "Did we just get away with that?"
You did really well. Good job.
And that is where we're going to take our break.
Whew. I need to calm down.
I
My heart's
know.
beating so fast.
You
Oh.
are very lucky that Caden rolled so high on his deception
This is what he's
check,
built for.
because Clara is very bad at deception, but it could be covered by just inexperience. So, all right, let's go to break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. We'll see you in then whenever that ends. Bye. Welcome back, everybody. That was interesting. you might see that Clara rolled an insight roll. That was to determine what she thought was going on with them when she left. And I gave some information to her that's not super pertinent, but a little bit. I don't want to say it on stream because then everyone else will hear me. Yeah. So I gave her a very brief tidbit. Sorry, secret whispers.
Secrets.
But speaking of Clara, or rather Jackie, that video that you just watched, she threw together in like 10 minutes.
No, that
and
took like a
I
couple
believe
hours.
she did it with one hand behind her back and her eyes closed. No.
I mean, it takes one hand to use a mouse, so like, sure.
Single-handedly created that video.
Adobe Premiere helped me create that video.
Anyway, give her kudos. Hit her up at her Twitter or whatever. Tweet at her. Tweet at the roll link to tell what you think of that video. Okay, let's jump right back into it. As they have left, you guys have sat around and discussed what is the name of that famous murder mystery that there's a name like Murder Over Coffee or something like that. Anyway, you guys have drank Hurd, you've drank just enough coffee. Begrudgingly, it's not that good, but you've drank enough. And Olivia and Magda, you've drank probably more coffee than, maybe at some point you switched to tea. I don't know.
I'm probably drinking tea the whole time.
Okay. So
Yeah, she might switch.
yeah. Enough time has passed that you figure it's probably safe to head back to Kieran Gall's place. And this conversation can jump on the road if you want to pick it up. Or you can settle into a comfortable silence while you meet up with everybody else and see how your heist went.
I suppose we'll have her check then, or our bill.
Your bill comes to 6 silver, which is a lot.
Magda pays it.
No, I got it. Okay.
No,
Sure.
I've got it.
Yep.
You guys hit the road and head back. Yes? Nothing else?
Well, are we just like, what if he's back? Like, what if they did the thing?
Well, we'll have to reconsider our plans. But that's not the end of the world.
Okay.
Don't do anything hasty.
We need a signal, like a kill him now signal.
Well,
if we do have one, I feel like we should also have a no signal. No, don't kill him now. I disagree with this plan wholeheartedly.
Currently, we don't have a plan. So let's assume that we're not planning to kill him until we have another discussion about this.
Okay.
All right.
Let's head back.
Right.
You get back, knock on the door. Clara and Caden are sitting inside, drinking wine, I imagine.
Yeah. As soon as came back, just like full on downed a glass of wine.
Okay. Get the after mission shakes. Caden.
After mission.
As you go and check the closet again, can't find your sword.
Clara, did you move my sword?
No.
You're not able to like check with your time thing like where I left it? I'm sure I left it in here. This is not like gonna go through, just start pulling stuff out of this closet. Any coats, anything, just like pull everything out. Like this does not make any sense to me.
No sword.
Would I know anything about the house to?
Yeah. I mean, it's a regular old house, and that's
No,
a
I mean
regular
about
old
like
closet.
things that Kieran would have like warded or had in.
In here, he didn't have a whole. He has wards around the outside of the house for breaking and entering, but inside, it's relatively normal.
Yeah, I'm just staring very confused at Caden as he tears apart a closet.
It makes me worry that if Gleason, one of her spellcasters, had something to remove. Is there a spell to remove weapons from an area? Does Kieran have any weapons of any sort? Would he have an ornamental sword? I don't care. Doesn't matter what size, what shape. Does he have anything here?
This is the conversation you guys walk in on.
Caden's just like in a closet.
Yeah.
Throwing things out, reach out. No, any sword, anything.
Hello.
What?
How'd it go?
Hi.
What's
Well,
in the closet?
Caden's lost a sword.
But
Yeah.
Was it like in the?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Not in a person.
But
just
what happened
lost one.
about the azurite powder? That's I think what.
Oh,
I'm
we have
curious.
that, and Claire would take it off of her belt and hold it. Up.
Caden has it. He put it in his
Okay,
bag.
now that I thought it was put
Uh,
down on a table, and I was.
He disappeared it.
I
Oh,
picked it up as soon as they were out. He was like, put it in a pouch kind of thing under his cloak.
gesture over to Caden.
They brought it.
Perfect. Success. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it didn't go perfectly, but we got it. So I think that is what is important right now.
What went awry?
Well, had to show them a few working models of some experiments to convince them to give it to us. And Kieran needs to be at the wall in 6 days.
Sounds like a success to me.
Yes. Don't think they like him very much, but I don't know that was very different from how they entered the house. So, how was coffee?
It was good. We had a little chat. And yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's on the
Caden, can I
level now.
have the azurite powder?
Cool.
are you doing the thing now?
I mean, it's gonna take me some time to be able to do it. I'm gonna have to put the azurite powder into the rune work. Also, there are a bunch of eels downstairs.
I was
Just
hoping
like-
you'd forgotten. Just
No.
walked right into the room.
No, there's a bunch of eels.
Hmm.
If you wanted to take out some aggression on killing some giant things, I have an opportunity for you. She's not looking at Olivia, but very much directed at Olivia.
I'm fine. If we're killing eels, I don't want to bring them back on the same day.
No,
Too
it's
much-
gonna take me some time to be able to utilize this. It's not happening today.
How much time?
2-3 days.
All right. Well, shall we go kill some eels?
I need a sword. Nothing. Nothing, Clara. Like, is there a sword on a mantle somewhere? Is there?
I could look around for you. She will start looking around for a sword in a wizard's home.
I mean, I have a spare. Kind of. How does this fit in your
Sure.
hands? And I, like, 50-pound sword.
What is it? What kind of sword is it?
It's a great sword.
Caden, yeah.
I might have
Awkwardly
something more.
holds it. Yeah. It's better than nothing. I think one of their wizards. Gleason came with two others, a gnome and a dragonborn. One of them had to have done something to remove weapons or something because I left mine. I didn't want it to inhibit the illusion or clink or anything like that. So I left it in a closet and it is not there. So if we're dealing with eels, I need a weapon. Thank you.
I have. She kind of. Apparently, she pulls out two short swords. Which one?
Either one's fine. Whichever one's not important to you.
Takes the scabbard out. This one's kind of covered in blood still. You can have the other.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. and he'll just spend some time like examining the sword, just kind of like getting familiar with it and testing the balance and just kind of like a bit of a ritual with it, just kind of spending time.
Okay. As you take some time to spend some time with it, doesn't feel right in your hands. Normally, up until this point, any weapon works with you. You know, you've had no problem, but for some reason, this just feels like you're just not going to be as effective with this sword as you were with your other one. It just doesn't have the same feeling. And as you sort of are waving it around, it just, you can use it, but it's not your other sword.
This is fine. It's fine. Fine.
That sounds a lot like what Clara would say when everything is not fine. Are you sure?
It
You
doesn't
just have to
feel
say that
right.
you're fine, but you're not really fine.
I'll make do. Thank you, Hurd. That's quite the sword you have there. You don't bring that out very often. I've seen it strapped to your back quite a bit, but... Oh,
What can I say? I wield good swords.
fair enough.
I'm just gonna let that one sit. What are you guys doing with the eels? Are you going just what's the plan?
All right.
I'm
So-
staying in the back.
You also know that as far as like your scheduling, I just want to interject just so you guys can your characters would remember this even though you might not. Tomorrow is when Ag is coming back to talk to you guys. She had left a note on the door saying she'd be here Tuesday. Today's Monday. So just as far as like stuff.
Where did she go again? What was?
You guys sort of abandoned her, so she went off to do her own things.
Okay.
She's never a part of the group. We didn't abandon her.
No, you basically went, we have things to do, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
And took off.
Well, Olivia, I'm sure you'd appreciate the most direct route. We just walk in and bash them, right? Are they? What kind of eels are we dealing with here?
Clara?
Well, they were big and electrifying and toothy.
Big, toothy, electrifying.
Also, they were like swimming in the air, so flying.
Up
Didn't you
swims in.
mention that they turn invisible?
Yeah, they also turn invisible until they're in your face.
Hmm.
And it wasn't a great time alone dealing with 9 of them.
Sure. So 9 invisible, flying, big, toothy, electric eels.
To be fair, they can't fit through the door. So you could always just stand back and shoot eels in a barrel.
I could teleport my echo back and forth in and out of the room.
I have an idea. Why don't you put your echo there as bait? And they all swarm it, become visible. We pow, pow, pow.
How are you gonna do that with a club, Hurd?
I have this longbow. Wait, I think I still have that longbow from the hunting trip.
You have a longbow?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a longbow. It's been at my waist this entire time.
Oh my god!
around
I didn't
his
even
waist.
notice.
Yeah, around my waist.
Yeah, I thought it was a
wearing
nice
it like a
belt.
belt.
Yeah. I was wondering where you
It's
got that.
a
like,
real
passion.
struggle getting through doors, but I make it work.
It's like a little dog.
So I know and hugs them because they can't get close enough. They just poke them.
Like a pool
He thinks they're
noodle.
stepping away, but in reality, they just can't get there.
Is that a bow around your waist, or are you?
It's happy to see me.
Sorry. Okay.
So you make your way down into the basement, or in through the room,
the
the
study.
portrait, into the other rooms, and you're standing outside the door of the secret study. Let me just go ahead and pull you all over.
Secret study.
Secret study.
Secret study.
I feel like that's the name of a song now.
It is. It's from Avatar. Secret tunnel.
I don't know if you're. Oh, there you go.
Secret
Yeah,
tunnel
right. I was like, why do I know this?
through the portrait. Secret, secret, secret. You're welcome.
Right. Let's just pull everyone to scene.
Caden gets his breastplate back on.
Alrighty. You guys are standing outside of the secret study, and how do you guys want to approach this? Like, I'm sort of waiting until you make a solid move, and then I will be able to pick it up from there. But at the moment, the door is closed. When you're ready, I'll open the door. Your echo is out, Olivia.
If we wanted to get a better lighting
Everyone
in
has
here,
dark vision.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
I also have dancing lights, so I can.
Is there anybody here who doesn't have dark vision?
No.
I
No.
didn't think so. You guys with your dark vision.
Mhm.
So, what's the game plan?
Well, first I'd like to try to see an eel. Can I like find some kind of bauble around or knickknack and just throw it?
Sure. So you open the door
Mhm.
and you glance in, and the study is absolutely trashed. The tables are all broken. Anything glass has been absolutely destroyed. All the paper has been shredded. If there are any spell books in here, they're probably completely ruined. Like, they have consumed or eaten anything. The wine that was in the back, all gone.
Are these eels drunk?
Drunk eels.
Yes. Drunk eels. Drunk eels.
Yeah. By the way, Caden, you probably were only getting gray screen for the combat because you guys were outside the room and I hadn't opened the door yet. But yes, something has done a lot of damage to this place. And as you sort of throw a bauble in, are you throwing like food or are you throwing?
I'm just like, I assume that this is a fancy house, and like, you know how fancy houses have to fill like every single flat surface with some kind of knickknack that has no.
It's like one of those book weights or
this
something.
particular house isn't that way. There are book weights, but Kieran Gall was a very like orderly and strict, like, if it doesn't have a real purpose in my life, then I don't get it. But he does have some book weights and some other things. So he has clothes. You know, you could throw any number of things.
I'm looking for something that will get some distance and attract just like
Sure.
movement to
You-
attention. So
you
like
you
grab a book
stop by
weight
the kitchen and you grab a pan. And
Probably a book weight before I grab a pan.
I was thinking
A
Olivia
book
would
weight.
find like the globe and like rip it out of the stand and hand it to a Magda.
yeah, you did
Nice
have
and round.
a globe.
It's probably
I can
super
see Magda
expensive.
searching for stuff, and it's just like, here.
You have a basketball-sized globe. You throwing that in?
Yeah, I'll pitch it in.
Give me an athletics check.
Oh,
I think
There's
if there does Magda have a 20 in athletics as well as every other stat?
of course.
She does push-ups every
Thank-
morning.
right there. You,
Well, fuck.
so you take it and you just heave it in, and in the back of the room, right about here, you see this giant eel floating through the air, just crash down on the thing, and it just shatters it, and then it blinks back out.
So
the
that,
electricity goes.
yeah, that.
Right.
They're in
And
there.
there's 9 of them.
I think so. I was trying very hard not to die.
That's fair. That's fair. All
I'm
right.
gonna like unholster my bow and get an arrow ready. I want to use like a ready in action type thing
Caden will do the
as
same.
possible.
Okay.
All right. So, how are we luring them out? Random objects seem to do the trick.
I
Or
can.
we want to put a person.
Give me an animal handling check on that statement.
Okay.
Animal handling.
Hey,
Handle
she rolled
those.
low for the first time on stream. Magda rolled below 9 or 10. I don't know if it's the first time, but it feels like it.
Definitely not. But
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to you.
Well, why don't I
who
just
expects me to know that much about animals?
why don't I just walk my echo out there? If I can swap places with it at the last second and just hit it, I'd be stuck out there if I did. But if I don't swap places with it, I could still hit it, but it wouldn't be as well as I can hit it myself. But I mean, if you guys all hit it,
I suppose it all depends on the level of risk you want to subject yourself to. But if you're going in there, I'm going in there.
well, the echo is me, so
I guess I didn't. The echo is you.
I'm not sure. That's too much for today. I've had enough philosophical talk. Yeah, why don't you guys all just get ready with your shooty magic, and I'll walk Olivia's echo into there.
Okay. So you walk the echo in as everyone prepares something. I'm not going to have initiative at this point because there's no point. Two eels snap at the echo. And as they do so, they take one. Oh, wait, nope. Where's my bite? Oh, there it is. 1, 2 attacks. And the second attack on the echo just absolutely it shatters into 100 different pieces. But you guys get your attacks of opportunity, your held attacks. Go ahead and roll them.
Okay.
16.
All right.
I should just attack with my halberd. I've got long arms.
Yeah, so you guys let loose with. Who am I missing? I'm missing Clara with the 12.
Oh,
Didn't do it. I don't have inspiration anymore.
No, and Olivia, did you have a ranged attack?
I happen to have a crossbow. Could I use that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's how did I tell fucking?
You guys are all shooting around each other.
Whoa.
Yeah. You gotta click
I think that's correct.
on your sheet. Well, you click the bolts, so it rolled the bolts. You have to click the crossbow.
I clicked roll.
Click the light crossbow, not the bolt.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put the.
Oh,
bolts
but I
in.
like that roll. Do I not get that roll?
Just, I'll give you the roll.
Okay,
Just
I'll
click the
roll
light
it again.
crossbow so it
Only
does the
one
damage.
hit.
Oh, it says light crossbow is designated to consume ammo, but nothing. It went away.
Okay.
Let me work with it.
Gotta work it. Yeah. So as you let loose, you seem to do some damage to it, but yeah, it blinks out. This is going to be a long strategy of doing this if this is the approach you want to take. But it seemed to work. So
Except like none of us hit.
true, you're shooting through a doorway.
If only we had some sort of powder that we could throw in the air and see the outlines.
If you're planning on trying to use the 3,000 gold's worth of azurite powder, she just like
I'm no. Like like baby powder or something.
Here, let me fix that for you, Olivia.
It's
Who has baby
Did
powder?
Kieran ever have any rashes or?
Clara, do you have any kind of other dust of any sort that would not be expensive? I'm
Would
sure
there
there's components
be
all over
some in the
place.
study? Something.
There would be a little bit up there, although you get the sense that he would he would do it out here, and down
Flour.
here would be where he kept the large amount, and there's be a little bit up there.
Is
Little
there
flour.
like still any
There
like
you go.
powder or anything lying around or glass pieces?
Oh, there's tons of glass. The whole place is wrecked in there.
Could I use shatter and just kind of in the room?
Sure. You cast shatter in a spot, and it just stirs up all the dust and broken glass and in the area. And as it settles down, it doesn't hit anything.
Oh, I think that when they aren't being seen, they're not in existence. They're poofing in and out, so to speak, slipping into a pocket dimension, then coming back out to attack you.
Side note, if you're
Okay.
hearing music, please reload your page. There's no music being played. I don't know why it's playing music. The stream has been playing music. This gentle music. I didn't even realize for some reason it just is locked on.
We're mournfully passing these eels into the next life.
I know, it's like nothing should be playing. I can turn the combat music on.
I mean, just wasted a spell slot. It's fine.
But you learned something.
Did I? Yeah, they aren't in existence while this is happening. I believe
What is
they are
going on?
phasing, which is great. Oh,
Right. So we have to lure them out and then hit them again.
yeah, that sounds
I
right.
have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this nifty spell called Shield of Faith. It would make for one of us becoming good bait. Huh?
All right.
Okay.
Olivia, can you do the shadow again?
I guess
Yeah.
that would be ideal. If you can just do that over and over.
Yeah, it just takes me a couple seconds to get it back up and running. I have to gather enough smoke. But yeah. Takes her about 6 seconds.
Yep.
And a bunch of smoke gathers back around her and off.
Yeah.
And
So you begin to employ the strategy of sending the echo in and taking your shots. Sending the echo in and taking your shots.
I can try to attack with the echo. If I
Correct.
make the attack action on my turn, I can also attack with the echo. And if I second wind, I can attack 3 times in one. I mean, not second wind, action surge. I can attack like a bunch of times.
Okay. So are you going to burn your action surge, or are you just going to just go with the echo over and over and over?
I think we'll start with just going with the echo over and over.
Okay.
See how it goes.
For the sake of brevity, there are 8 of these things. And as you are going through, just sending the echo in, they snap at it, you shoot. You, you don't know how many there are. However, you do kill 6, ignore the 8 number, you kill 6 eels over the space of time as you use cantrips and arrows and other things to slowly whittle them down as you just keep sending the echo in. After a while, you send the echo in, it moves around the room, and it does not appear to get any nothing bites at it.
All right.
Is that it then?
I think we'd be cautious, but
Well, I'm counting 6 dead bodies.
And as they die, they kind of explode in tiny pieces of energy, and then they turn and they basically have a little whirlpool of vacuum as they are sucked into this portal in the center of the room, and they just are pulled
Like the
in,
phase
just like the
spiders were.
spiders. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this could be all of them, could be a few more, but it seems like less now, so
Maybe some of them killed each other?
Maybe they caught on to our little game. They saw that it wasn't working, and a few just got smart.
And just disappeared?
Let's
no,
let's
not
just figure it
disappeared.
out.
let's go in
Okay.
cautiously, very cautiously.
So as you move in, you cautiously move around, stepping in. There's glass all over the floor.
Did shatter things.
Every table and is absolutely destroyed. Several of the lights have been ripped off of the wall. There's enough light in here that you're able to still see. It's a mess.
I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Kane's
Mage
gonna
armor,
hand
yeah.
that short sword back to Olivia. Just be like, this doesn't feel right anyways. Thanks, I'll get another one. Thank you though. It's beautiful. It's not that. It's fine.
I don't care. It's a watch sword. I mean, you should probably have something just on you, just in case.
He gestures to his daggers under his cloak. I've got this. I've got my bow. I'm good.
All right, she puts it back at her hip. Yeah, she's just gonna send the echo around the room and then kind of follow behind it.
Okay. As you head in and begin to move your way around the room,
Sword out.
does everyone go in?
I'm staying at the door, like in the doorway.
Okay.
I've had bad experiences.
Move where I'm like within running distance of the door but can see the whole room, and I'm keeping just an eye out for anything holding Eldritch Blast.
Okay. From the time that you were fighting them, you realized a couple things. You killed a lot of them, so I'm going to give you just some knowledge that you would have had from your time killing them. Thing number one is that they seem to be resistant to lightning damage. You haven't really hit them with any lightning, but you're able to suss out from watching the lightning course over them that they are at least resistant to it. Also, they seem to fly through the air. Some of them attacked from way down from the ceiling. Some of them were attacking from the floor. So they don't seem to need to move like in a normal walking fashion across the ground.
Great.
But, yeah. But outside of that, yeah, that's... So as you're standing here, we're going to make Olivia 1, Hurd 2, Caden 3, Magda 4, and Clara 5. And I'm going to roll a 1d5. So Caden, as you are turned and hand that sword back, everybody else, everyone's on edge, and so I'm going to ask that everyone rolls initiative. You click your token, and then click the shield icon next to it, and that'll roll you initiative. And then you click the dice. Trying to get to my eels, but everyone's being added.
Did it roll it already?
You're on there.
I might have clicked yours as I was trying to hit the eel, and you ended up, popping in at the same time.
It just
If-
already rolled my initiative for me, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, I can take you off the order and put you back on if you want to roll your own.
No, I'm fine. This is a fine.
Yeah, if I rolled for you and you right click, you can click re-roll and it'll roll your own if you feel like there's I need to roll my own initiative.
Okay.
I got a 3.
So-
I need to roll my own
I got
initiative.
a 9.
Magda, I'm assuming because you said it, you're just basically holding your action in case you see something.
Yep.
And there's a eel that appears right above Caden and goes to take a bite down at him. Magda, you're holding your action, so go ahead.
Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Ooh, 6 points of damage. As you hit it, it reels with the 6 point of damage. And nothing? No? All right.
I got it. I got it.
Wait, we got it.
We accept
We
that.
got it.
It wasn't that good though. And you slam into it. It still takes its multi-attack against Caden, and makes a bite attack against him. Oh, I whispered that, but you can see it on the stream. 22 to hit.
Ooh. Yep.
You
22
take
will hit.
11 points of piercing damage and 8 points
Okay.
of lightning damage.
Ooh. Okay.
And it, as it twists around, it bites you a second time.
Jeez.
11 to hit.
No, does not hit. Dog dodges out of the way of the second one as he grabs onto his chest where the kind of the bite jumped into his chest there.
The eel can't disappear at this point. It just stays there, like swimming in the air, and that is its turn.
Oh, they're still here! They're still here!
Yeah, we got that.
Clara, there's an eel, a visible.
Yes. Claire's gonna reach out and she'll touch it. I'm not fit level yet though. 22. Do some necrotic damage.
Yeah, they 22 hits. Definitely, their hit points are not. Their AC is very low. You figured out. You know their AC by now. It's 13. It takes 4 points of damage. As you just chill touch it, the necrotic damage seems to work. Yeah, looking for that 2d8 when you hit 5th level. As you just
know.
reach out and you just touch it. Do you duck back out the door? Or you stay where you're at.
Chill touch has a range of like 120 feet, so she just flung a skeletal hand out there and tried to just slap it. So she's still by the door. She just like reaches out and slaps the eel in the face with a
Okay.
giant.
Olivia, as
Grizzly
you
hand.
turn around, as the yell that's still here, you turn around and you see Caden is just getting shocked by this eel.
She runs up to it, the echo following behind slightly, and is going to attack it with her sword.
Okay. 13 hits for 10 points of damage. Olivia's a damage leader here.
Really? That's
I
so
did
far.
4.
okay.
Anything
great.
else?
I'll bonus action switch with my echo. So I'm standing in its spot and it's standing in mine.
Okay. As you switch, an eel appears right next to you and just chomps on you, Olivia.
But
Uh,
I didn't move.
it's the eel's turn and you happen to be right
Oh.
next to you.
Great. It's fine.
Not opportunity.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't bite at you. Instead, you watch as electricity just charges up through it and it reaches out and zaps both you and your echo. I need Constitution saves for both.
Okay. It uses my saving throw bonus, so I'll just roll
Okay.
twice.
Tell me which one is you and which one is it before you
The
roll.
first one will be me.
Okay. A DC 12.
Saving throw. That's me.
You're fine.
And
Picked the
echo.
wrong ones to do
Hey.
it. And it's fine
Yay.
too. On a
Sweet.
failed save, on a successful save, it takes half as much damage. So you take 8 points of lightning damage and you are not stunned.
The
as
echo
this one.
dispels
Okay.
if it takes damage.
Yeah, it has 1 HP, so it
Yep.
disappears. I'll set it over in the corner in case you want it back.
Okay. Get in the corner.
That ends the eel's turn. Brings us to Caden.
Caden, clutching onto his chest where he's got this wound, grabs onto one of the daggers there and pulls it out and as he's looking up at this huge eel in front of him and this small dagger that he's just pulled out. He just kind of feels this burning in his hand, and he reaches up into the air and wraps his hand around a space in the air and pulls down out of the air, and this blade kind of apparates into the air, this kind of purplish bluish glow on it, and it's longer than his usual sword. Looks back, looks at Magda, and then just goes in for this attack with this kind of spectral sword that appears in his hand as he needs it. This would be a longsword attack, single-handed. Yep.
Nice.
Max damage.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's really
I'm
good.
slicing through, and then he'll come up as he takes the momentum carries him forwards. He dives forward with his dagger in the other hand.
Where's all these modifiers coming from? It's a 1d8 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1.
I apologize. Somehow there has been some added. I may
Look
have
at
the
Caden cheating over here.
No,
Did you
I
add
probably
sneak? Is
have
that sneak
equipped
attack
my.
one?
I probably
Which
have
you-
equipped my one of my things from testing earlier.
Okay,
Sorry.
so 1d8 plus 4, and then do
Plus
you
1 because it's a magical weapon.
right plus 1? Okay, and then are you have an ally within? You'd be able to apply sneak attack damage.
Okay, thank you. I will. Oh, okay.
So
So it should be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 plus 6. So
okay,
it should still be 19.
okay, 19 damage. Great. When it's all said and done, this eel is looking really badly injured. As you come around with your offhand dagger and do 7 more points of damage to it, it is on death's door.
I apologize. Numbers aren't working. That should be a 1. It's just 1 damage. I will
And
figure
then
out
it
why everything
heals
else
for
is
6
applying.
damage. And it's still on death's door. It's near death now.
It can't heal. It got chilled touched.
As it undoes, as you watch as time reverses and the damage just doesn't seem to apply. Hurd.
I was muted. All right. I am going to move up here. I'm going to make one attack against this one that's damaged. It's not looking good. Here comes.
That hits as you slam your great what is this, a maul down, whoomp, right on the head, on top of its head. It just you watch as electricity comes up and hits your maul, and just seems to connect, and the thing just shatters and electric and goes into the portal.
Hell yeah. Okay. And then I'm gonna use my War Priest ability to attack a second time. Here comes. I'm going to attack this, obviously the one that's left.
Okay.
I'm going to use my inspiration for this.
All right. That also hits. It takes 10 points of damage as you just crack down on it.
And then after I do that, I point at it and I say, "You," and I mark it with my new ability. I'm gonna link that.
Forgot I was gonna hate that ability.
So it's a wall of text. If I'm within 5 feet of it, it has disadvantage on attacks other than me.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
I'm gonna
the big
just use
thing
the
here.
heart for now until I get an image for that mark.
Okay.
Okay. You mark it, and it gets to Magda's turn.
All right. I'm gonna shoot it again, and I'm also gonna use inspiration because.
Yeah.
When else am I gonna use it?
16 hits. You needed the inspiration. You begin to blast it as you just hang in the back with Clara. Clara.
Seeing that people have been hitting it, she's gonna magic missile it.
Okay.
Roll that, cast it,
3.
and then one more and one more.
Yep. 4, 5,
3,
6,
3,
7, 8, 9,
4.
10. 10 points of damage. Nice. It's looking really fucked up. I like it has an active condition charmed because I put the thing on it.
It's enamored of us.
It's enamored with Hurd.
Or
That brings us to Olivia. You're watching as Claire just lets loose with these magic missiles.
Yeah, she hits it with her sword, man. I can't describe it coolly because it's just the same thing. I don't have a magic sword. Yeah, no, just slices down across. I'm gonna also use
All right.
inspiration because I want
Okay.
to use it.
Everyone burn it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Natural
That's
20,
funny.
18 points of damage as you swing your sword around in the tried and true methods of the watch. Nothing fancy, nothing awesome and amazing. You just bring your sword out, whoop, just cut off its head, and you watch as the head just separates from the body, and you see where all the nerve endings are, just lightning, and it just rolls down and just shatters and goes in.
nice.
As you spend some time in here, you're pretty comfortable with the idea that you have killed everything in here.
Oh, man.
Are you all right, Caden?
Yeah, those goddamn teeth in that thing were as long as my sword was. Jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? Sucks.
Yeah, the sword that came out of your hand.
Yeah, what was that?
Which he looks down at, still holding. I just, I need a sword. Kind of goes to put it in his sheath, but the sheath is for a short sword. And this is definitely a long sword.
I want to look at his arm. Is his tattoo still there? Is it different in any way? If I can, I might grab his arm and push up his sleeve if I have
Yeah,
to.
sure. Caden doesn't fight it.
The tattoo is still there. The etchings that he had drawn before that he hadn't had a chance to fill in yet are now fully filled in with ink. Of the short sword that was there is now changed. The sword itself has just changed a little bit in style to fit the exact image of the sword that he's holding in his hand. A small glow has been added around the edges of it. And now instead of the red line that went up the hilt and just up a little bit of the blade of the short sword, there's now a red, and even the sword he's carrying has a red going up the hilt and then up the very center of the sword about halfway before it tapers off. Yeah.
So you needed a sword. I mean, I need a sandwich at about right now. I can't conjure that out of thin air.
Give me
I
an
was
Arcana
gonna
check.
say,
Who?
Can I help Hurd explain to him how
Hurd.
he could
Oh,
conjure,
me make the
Yeah.
Arcana
conjure a
check? Okay.
sandwich?
Yeah.
Is this me trying to conjure a sandwich out of thin air?
I want to
No,
help.
give me. Sorry, this would be religion. Sorry, I should have said
Oh.
religion check.
Oh, I
It's
can't.
religion. Yeah, create food and water
Sure,
is the cleric
for me.
spell.
oh, you can actually do it. I can't.
As you're saying that, you realize that with a little bit more study and a little bit more practice, you could conceivably conjure a sandwich out of midair. You
Oh
just
my
couldn't do it right
gosh.
now.
Well, I know what I'll be preparing tomorrow morning.
It's a third level spell. You have to take two more levels.
Oh,
than
okay.
cleric.
We could just make you a sandwich, Hurd. Like, that's a thing that can happen.
There's something about being able to conjure it.
Okay. Understood.
I think we need to get into more deadly Well, this wasn't even deadly. I think we just need to get into more battles because every single time Caden pulls out a new fancy thing, it's Olivia considers punching him just to see if something new happens. And then maybe that's
What comes out of him this time?
Yeah, a sudden shield.
Yeah, Caden, I guess I've got a bigger sword now. I don't know what this is. Stop looking at me.
Nope.
Is Clara? Is the circle? Is it damaged in any way by the eels?
Can I inspect it?
Yeah. You go over to the circle. You inspect it. No roll necessary. They did not hurt the circle in any way.
Okay. No, I think it's fine. I think given the azurite powder, I should be able to do this. She's like turning to Caden, like,
You powder.
you have the azurite powder?
Are you wanting to do this now?
So here's the thing. Kieran is back in time, able to change the current timeline at any point given whatever he's doing. So it seems prudent to get this started now. Like, I'm not going to do it now. It's going to take me some time to do it all, but like, I would like the ability to start.
He looks at everyone else and he says, "This seems like a big decision here. Is this what we're doing?" And he looks straight to Magda, like knowing what's.
I think we're on a pretty short time limit with the watch, so might as well get started. We can always discuss things as she works.
Ah, yes. Why don't you get started and we'll discuss some things?
Well, I meant with Clara.
Oh. So did I.
We're. Can Caden find a large beaker anywhere, a container of any sort in one of these tables?
Wait, Caden, before you do that, can you could I just inspect the powder to make sure that there's enough?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Do you have a container of some sort?
Sure. She like looks around and sees that every glass is shattered and is like, "No, just let me just see the pouch and I'll make sure that there's enough and then I'll give it right back to you."
Oh, no, just a cup, a bag, anything. And he just.
It's in a bag.
I'm aware it's in a bag. All right, Caden is gonna pull out a pouch that has like copper coins in it and dump them on the floor. And he is going to take a handful of the azurite powder from inside his cloak and pour it into the smaller bag. And hand Clara the bigger bag.
What? Why?
This seems like a pretty big decision. I'd prefer it to be a group decision. You can
Fine.
get started with that, I imagine.
Okay.
Okay, you watch as she takes the bag and does a hand motion, and there's a small poop, pop, and the bag just disappears out of her hand.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Did you inspect it? Is it good?
Oh, that was a lie. I wanted the powder.
You didn't let me.
Uh,
I wanted to.
yeah, roll an insight check. That's why you typing it to me takes me time to insert it. Go ahead and roll me an insight check on Clara, but that wouldn't have popped her lie.
What? Well, no, I wanted to. She was acting. Whatever.
Give me an insight check.
It's fine.
You said what you were trying to figure out.
It's fine.
You can't tell anyone.
As soon as it was in her hand, she was gonna do it.
However, as you waited it out, the powder, there might be enough left in here without what he took. When you asked for the amount, you asked for extra in case you needed, like, in case something went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd have to make no mistakes. So with what he took, but you have enough to get started.
Clara, there's been a lot of rash decisions from people in the last few days. All I would like you to do is not be able to decide on your own when this happens and how this happens. And I'm worried with some of your decisions recently that you might be blinded by your relationship with Kieran to not consult us if you made a decision.
She looks at Caden and in Celestial says, "I'm trying to fix my mistakes. I know that you might not approve of the way I'm doing it, but I'm trying."
What is this? You're hiding conversation from us?
No. Don't worry about it.
in common, return to her and says, you can, I'm not stopping you from doing that. I am attempting to put some brakes on this group because there's been a lot of rash decisions made. One small step at a time, all right? Get to work. But I just don't want you to complete this until everyone is ready for this. That's all I'm asking.
As you look at the circle, Clara, you know it's going to take about 3 days of work.
Yeah. So you want to decide as a group what to do with my mentor back in time, changing things.
This became more of a one-person quest, Clara. Upstairs, I mean, out talking to Gleason is one example of that. Showing up in Gleason's office, your sister's relationship with her for work, all of this points to this is more than just your quest and your decision here.
I understand, though, we might not have the best relationship with Gleason, considering Kieran needs to be back at the wall in 6 days.
I can't imagine that the, quarter or fifth of the powder that I kept out of there is going to stop you from getting started. I just don't want you to make a decision of when it happens and be blinded by. I want you to have your eyes open, and if we can help with that, I think that's a good thing.
Open about what? Looking around at everyone.
Well, your relationship with multiple men seemed.
Do you recall what we talked about Kieran?
Yes, hazy, but yes.
Don't.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
think Clara should take a look in the bathroom in this fancy apartment. He has some.
There's a bathroom?
There's a bathroom.
She doesn't know this.
He has some trophies, I think I would call them.
Those weren't in the bathroom, but
They weren't? I thought
they were in a different room.
Well, sorry. I tell her where they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to go look at them now?
It's up to you. You can start working on this if you'd like, or you can go look at them. It's something to keep in mind when you think about how you want to proceed with your relationship with Kieran.
Okay. Don't touch anything, I guess. Everything is broken, so I don't think that matters.
I figured we'd start cleaning, maybe.
Okay. I'll be back, I guess. Just gonna go look.
You make your way through the magnificent mansion to out to the regular. No, inside the magnificent
We're in
mansion.
the magnificent mansion. I know that.
Make your way through the magnificent mansion to one of the other rooms in the magnificent mansion that they pointed out, and you see that there's a case, and inside the case are 4 toothbrushes, and they are 3 different names under them. 4 really. Your name, and then Lizzie, Alex, and Victoria.
Do I know any of it? Would those register at all for me?
I don't think so.
Cool. Cool. Are they in a case?
Yeah, they're in a glass case with on a little stand.
Can I open it?
Yes.
Cool. I'm taking mine.
Okay.
Just pocketing it, closing the case.
It
goes back
looks
to.
As you handle it, you glance at it. It looks like somebody has cut off some of the bristles on it.
Great. Awesome. Not worried about what that is at all. We'll deal with that separately. Goes back to where everyone else is.
While she's gone, Caden's gonna come over to Magda
Mm-hmm.
and just gonna be like, we had. I'm worried about her Kieran's sway over her, and I feel like just from our conversation on the trip here and how I was able to influence her with how I spoke, that, and the fact that you told me she met with Kieran here without our knowledge, that it's best if she doesn't have all the Azurite powder to complete the spell when we're not around.
I agree.
I hope that's
I
okay.
think that is a wise move. We need to discuss this more later, including with her and Olivia. And I'm gonna walk over to Hurd. Just to make sure things are clear. There's no the four of us are going to have our discussions separately from Clara while she works, but I did not want her to know that we were talking behind her back.
Why would she know that?
Just a comment you said seemed to imply that a little bit. I just wanted to be careful and make sure you understood everything.
I mean, in truth, I don't feel like this is something that can't be said to her. This
is something
can-
else.
Oh,
As
okay.
you say that, she re-enters the room.
Not happy.
Well, should we?
No cleaning has been done.
Yeah, I figured that.
I was meaning more like while she worked. So
It's gonna take multiple days for this to go through.
powdered glass on the floor. I feel like it's going to take us multiple days to clean it. Yeah.
Get some brooms.
Mm-hmm. That's what
Clara,
Magda's going to start doing.
Caden.
you are the expert here. Tell me what I can do.
So I can start.
Not stopping you from starting. I don't think any of us are stopping you from starting.
I think it's wise to get a move on with this as quickly as we can.
Okay. Can I do an insight check?
Yes, you may.
Insight.
Which one of us are you inciting?
Yeah.
I'm in the part of the room trying to
I'm
keep my
definitely
cool.
inciting. I'm inciting very much like just kind of glancing back between.
You're trying to read the
Magda-
room?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna look between Magda and Hurd. I don't think she'd look at Olivia yet.
Okay. What are you trying to gain from an insight check?
I'm just trying to see if they're actually being honest about letting me start and not interfere.
That is two different things. And so give me, with a 13 for letting you start, it seems like they're fine with you letting start.
Okay.
As far as interference goes, Magda and Hurd, go ahead and whisper me what you feel would be the appropriate role, deception or persuasion, about just the things that you've been saying. Well, make sure you click on the whisper. It's
And
a
that's the private
I'm not
GM
looking.
role?
private GM role.
I will not look.
So about interfering.
With her finishing,
Okay.
Can I roll a performance?
No,
'Cause
we
I'm not
literally
saying
have
anything, right?
stats for it's the same charisma. It's
Yeah, you're right. It's no difference. I just okay.
how did
That went
that come
private,
through
right?
without a? No, you did self roll, I think.
No, I did.
I'm not
private
looking,
GM
so-
roll.
That's weird. I didn't get it. It's
Just
not
check-
even showing up on the stream.
Okay. All
okay.
right. I'm just gonna message you
Yeah.
in on Discord.
Okay. Just tell me what the number was. Just yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah. Well, you know what her number was. It was 13. So it's just I need to know if it was above
Yeah,
or below.
let me try.
I do not have Foundry open, so I can't see.
Oh, you don't have Foundry open.
I'm on a different tab, so that way
Ah.
I can't.
Oh,
Not looking
take
at
my
that there.
turn this time?
Okay. So there we go. It came through.
Okay.
You get the sense that Hurd is not going to stop you. He is he's here. He's always been here for you, and he will continue to be here for you and not getting your way. You also get the sense from looking at Magda and her body posture that there was a conversation that you walked in on that shut up as soon as you walked in, but you don't know what it was about, and you don't get the sense of whether or not she would stop you or not. It just they're having secret the thing that they just accused you of they are doing. So yeah, but as far as whether or not they'll stop you, you don't know.
Okay. Just slowly starts moving over to the circle and starting.
Okay,
her
so
work.
there's a series of tools that you're going to need to do this, and as you sort of get ready to start, you take out, you go over and dig among all the wreckage until you find basically what is tiny little hammers and tiny little or small hammer and a small like stamping thing, because you have to pack the powder down into the circle. And as you look at the circle, it's broken up into 5 sections, and you're going to have to do an Arcana roll for each one of the sections to get it right. And as you're going through these 5 sections, there's a so you look at how much you have, and if you do everything right, your dust, as you sort of are starting to weigh things out, you realize that your dust that you have is enough to get you through the whole thing. But if you screw anything up, if you make any major mistakes, then you're going to need the dust that Caden has.
I don't tell them that.
And from looking at this is going to take 2.5 days to do, 4 hours per section. You also know that if you start a section, you're going to need to finish this whole section. So you don't want to run out of dust in the middle of a section.
How long would one section take me?
4 hours, roughly.
Okay.
But you don't have the mental energy to do more than 2 sections a day.
Yeah. She would start. I'd like, what time is? Yeah, it's like the middle
you
of
have
the
enough
afternoon.
time today
She's
to
got
do
4
it.
hours.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it was early in the morning before. You could do 2 sections today.
She'll do one with them in the room.
Okay, so you sit down and you brush out the dust and you begin to work. And as you sink into the slow metallic taps, the rest of the room, give me an Arcana check. The rest of the room just sort of starts to fade away as you just begin to slowly pack this in, and you can almost feel Kieran's hands on your shoulder, just telling you, speed is not required over perfection. If you screw this up, you can't go back and redo it unless you can control your magic. Maybe you can go back, but do you want to have to get it right the first time? And so the lessons that he has instilled in you about the needing to do things perfectly are beginning to, and you're just taking your time and very slowly brushing out each ruin carefully, making sure there's no dust, taking the dust, measuring it out not to spill any, and go through, and you spend 4 hours. As you guys watch her, occasionally you throw a comment her way about how's it going or something like that, but she doesn't even seem to hear what you're saying. She's muttering under her breath occasionally, and she just seems to be zoned in on doing it. And you're cleaning up the room around her, doing some sweeping and other things. In those 4 hours, do you do anything else, or you just kind of chill in the room?
I think for now, just making sure Caden's just focused on the room cleanup.
Okay. It takes a while. You sort out the broken tables from the other things. 4 hours pass. It's a long time. 4 hours is a really long time to just be working on this. You guys leave it one at a time to go grab a drink or grab some wine or something like that. Come back, help clean, come back. After 4 hours, you finish the first section and you feel you look at it and you feel like you've done a good job. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. The CR, by the way, is 20 on each of these.
Okay. Didn't do as well then.
Yeah, but you did pretty dang close. You know that there's a couple small errors in there. You got 4 more to go. You stretch, your back cracks. Start doing some stretches. Stretches that were taught actually in school for helping to relieve, this is normal wizard stuff. We'll start working through some stretches to make yourself relax. Are you gonna start a second section?
She'd kind of sit back on her heels and look at the group.
How's it going?
That's one done.
One out of.
This is going to take a few sessions. It's going to take me a few days. You don't need to be around for all of it.
Do you need anything from us?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
I want to feel needed. So I don't know if that's a yes or a no.
I certainly would like your support. Though I have a feeling that might not come in the quantities that I'm hoping for.
In what
You
regard?
succeeded in making me feel bad.
Sorry, Claire's not being nice. I have a feeling I will get through most of these, and then you'll want to talk.
Yeah.
About Kieran or about me?
Well, I think that we could talk all day about you and Kieran and
I'm not looking to talk all day, Hurd.
sure,
I'm
Hurd.
looking for an answer.
An answer to whether or not we want to talk about you and Kieran.
Or the individual. I don't mind. What's the problem here?
I'm looking over to Magda right now. Like, what do I do?
Give me an insight check, Clara. Same to you, Olivia.
12.
Okay.
Well. Do I need to roll something?
No, this is just a family thing.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's on edge. Nobody's picking anything up.
Claire,
Olivia?
don't act like me. Don't act like everything will be fine if you just You've seen how things have gone with things that I've done and the decisions that I've made, and making the decision. I like to do things myself, and that this is how things have gone. So consider that. I know that I don't know you anymore, but I think I know enough to know that if you make this decision on your own and something goes badly, I don't think you're gonna recover from that. If we make the decision together and it goes badly, at least it's everybody's fault.
Well, you are correct. I am not going to do things the way you would do things. I am not going to abandon Kieran in time.
I'm not telling you to. I'm not telling you to do anything. Well, I guess I am. I'm just telling you don't think like me. That's it.
That I'm unsure of why you all are acting this way when I need to when we need to get him back.
I think we're just on edge. This is had a frightening morning, and eventful heist of sorts, and we just fought a bunch of eels. This is a big decision in any case, no matter, not even regarding like what you decide, it's just a big thing to have happen. We're all on edge, and yeah.
Caden says that we should think about things. Well, he said that I should think about things before I go and do them. Or I shouldn't just walk straight into something. And that's probably what we should do.
I don't think you have to worry about that. The only thing I do is think about things.
I'm just saying you asked us for a decision right now, and we need to think about it, Clara.
You need to think about it. You need to think about leaving someone apparently like Kieran Gall in your minds in the past where he can affect whether or not you exist.
I don't think
Who
that's
knows
a good
who you
idea
are?
for the record. Just butting in there. Continue.
We're not saying you should leave him in the past. We're just saying we should think about what
What
he-
to do
yeah.
in the present when he's back.
Caden looks to Magda like,
He is a powerful transmutation wizard who has spent years in the past in dangerous situations. What do you imagine we're going to do?
Clara, I was mainly, perhaps we was a bad. Firstly, I'm talking about your relationship with him because you don't seem happy with him, and I thought that's what you had decided. And secondly, we did lie to the watch. Are going to have to figure out what the consequences of that are. And what loose ends do we need to take care of in order to ensure that they don't find out?
Well, I guess then you should talk about that. And she goes back to work on the second section.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to talk. Like, is she away? Is she away?
You'd have to leave the room.
Yeah.
So she, as you're doing these sections, you are absorbed enough that I would have you probably roll perception with disadvantage to pick up their conversation, or you could pay attention and you roll your Arcana with disadvantage while you're working on the circle.
Definitely not doing that. I'll do perception with disadvantage.
Unless they leave the room. If they leave the room, then that's
Oh,
Magda's not going to have any conversations in the room.
Pretty
Okay.
sure she told us to leave. She wants us to leave. So
don't have to leave the house. Just let me work.
all right. Give me an Arcana roll for the second section.
Enjoy 4 hours of talking to each other about your feelings.
21.
I am motivated.
Having done the first one, the second one is a little bit easier. You stretch, you sit down, and you work your way through the second one. As you sit back on your heels, 4 hours done, looking it over, it is perfect. It's slightly beyond perfect. You were able to use the powder in such a way that your mistakes of the past one, you've recouped a little bit. You're still on track that if you finish the other 3 sections with no mistakes, you could finish with all the powder that you have. Meanwhile, it is I am like wrestling here about whether or not we should just go for time because I want to have this conversation, but it's 8:30. So
Maybe let Kel
Next-
finish off this. Oh no, okay. Oh, sorry.
yeah, well, the problem is this is going to be a long
Maybe a
conversation.
long conversation.
Your
A
first
4-hour one.
round of this conversation took 45 minutes of stream time. So we are going to pick this up next week. Find out whether or not the Tram Fam is down with murder.
What?
Down with the sickness. I'm just spitting things out here. You don't know.
No, now I do.
No, it could be. You
We're
said
not
I
gonna
lied to
murder
you.
you,
I always
Clara.
lie. No, they're not going to murder Clara.
Only Mame.
Oh no.
Yeah, does Clara really need to be able to cast magic is the question.
She doesn't need
Um,
both hands.
I
just
discovered
think.
that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. The question that we will answer next week is what is it that Hurd wants to talk about? And
Write this down.
yeah. Hurd's feelings about Kieran Gall and Clara's relationship and whether or not they're going to break them up. So we'll come back next week, picking that up, talking about the feelings. We name these episodes after the episodes. We sort of throw suggestions out, but we always struggle with naming the episodes in cool, unique ways. So if you have an episode name before we push this up on YouTube, if you have an episode name that you would suggest, tweet it at us _roll incorporated. And
It's just underscore rolling.
thank you _roll link. I appreciate you, Ian. And let us know what you think. Thank you for watching. And until next time, wear a mask and hug your dog or your cat if it'll allow it, or any other pet that you have, or your rabbit.
Rabbit.
See ya.